Hello friends, welcome to another video. Today's video is part 2 of cohort analysis video which I posted yesterday. I will put the link of that video in the description. Do check out that video because a couple of the formulas which I created in the part 1 will be used in this one as well. So let's look into when I said trying to explain here is what the dynamic cohort analysis means. We're going to take the yesterday data as an example and then build this new analysis on top of the same data set. Let's look at Power BI file and start developing this solution. To start with, one thing what I want to talk about is what we did yesterday. We looked into each category and took product category and took the first sales of that category and created that as a column in the product category table. So this was the formula. So first sales date, we took the related table from the sales for the each product category and then got the min-max, and that gave us the each category's first sale date ever. Now, and then what we did was created the year 1, year 2, and year 3, year 4 based on the order date, and then analyze the data on that. In this video, what we're going to do is comparison was still relevant, but in today's once we do today's video, I will show you 1 or 2 use cases where the yesterday's analysis was good, but in certain cases it was not very good analysis. So when I said dynamic cohort analysis, what we're going to do is we are going to maintain a cohort table which can be maintained outside in Power BI. It could be coming from the database, coming from a Excel sheet or some other external source. I already created one. I want to show you what I created in that particular table. So if I go and look into the cohort table, so what I have here is cohort key, because the key is just to sort out this value. So what I'm doing is like how our product category performed in the first 30 days, 30 to 60 days, 60 to 90 days. Also then another analysis, first 3 months, not like a 91 to 120 days, but like first 3 months, first 6 months, and first 9 months. And I'm trying to make a different combinations here. So first year, how it performed first year, and how second and third year and fourth year plus. You can have this maintained outside anywhere else. And also you can have the granularity, whatever you want. So what we have here is a 2 set of column which are critical for each cohort, like first 30 days, what is the minimum number of days and what the maximum number of days. The reason why we are using the days as because that's the lowest ever granularity we can go on the date. So for first example, the first sales happened on January 1st, 2021 for a category, and anything after 1st January will be the number of days, the difference between the first sales and the order date. So that is what we are going to be we're getting to the days level. So again, just to confirm what we're doing here is for first 30 days, we're saying is any sales between 0 to 30 days is treated as in the first 30 days. 30 to 60 days, any date within 31 to 60 days, the label should read actually 31 to 60 days. And similarly, the first 3 months, so we're saying is any sale done from day 0 to 90 days is the first 3 months, and first 6 and 0 to 180 days. And I also created a cohort group. It's just in case we want to slice and dice based, want to look into certain like cohort as well. So once we create this data, maintain this data set, this table, this is now from here onward, everything is pretty simple. What we're going to need to do is we need to add a measure in our table. So let's start writing that measure. Dynamic category cohort sales. You can give any other name. So what we need to do here is we need to iterate over the each row in the sales table. So what we can do is sum x sales, and what we're going to do here is first we need to calculate, given the order date and the first category date, how many number of days are passed. So the simple formula for that is, let's store it in a variable. So days, what we're going to do here is date difference between, now we're going to use a related. Why we need to relate it? Because the product category table is on the one side, so we can get the date from that particular table. So that is product category first sales date, and then the difference between the sales order date. Let's actually reformat this in a way so it's easy. Sales order date, and the granularity, even if you want to do your dynamic cohort analysis by month, you can have now here month as well, and then you can have the min, instead of min days and max days, you can have a minimum month and maximum month, so depending what you want to do. So I'm using days here just for the analysis purpose. Sorry, it should be day. So now what this will give is, this will give us the number of days for based on the first category, for each category, based on the first sales date of that category. Now once we have this, what we need to do here is we can check here if days is greater than minimum of our cohort table minimum days. Why we're doing that, what we are checking here is if the number of days calculated, we want to find out in which bucket segmentation in the cohort table this particular record falls in. So if it's greater than equal to minimum days and less than equal to maximum days, if this meets the criteria, and then we take the sales. So it means this sales is within that bucket. And now one thing we need to do here is we also have to do it if there is if cohort table has a filter, then only do this analysis. So let's do that, call it cohort. I will show you what does that mean. If there is a filter on the cohort table, then this is the condition which will run, otherwise just get the sales. So let's actually visualize this data and see what we get here. On the rows, I'm going to use the product category because we are analyzing product category. On the columns, I'm going to use the cohort. So of course it will give the error. The reason we are getting this error because these two tables does not have any direct relationship. And now let's use the new measure which we created. So that is dynamic category cohort sales. So here is what we get. So basically for each racket or each category, we are saying, okay, in bike racks, how much is sold in the first 30 days, how much is sold between 30 to 60 days, 60 to 90 days, in first 3 months, and all the stuff. And the if has one filter which we used is to get the total. If I don't do that, then we will not get the correct value. What we will get in that case is it will take the cohort, because at this point of time here the minimum days and the maximum days is based on the filter context coming from the cohort table. But when we are at the total, we are at the cohort table level. So then the minimum days will be the minimum of the whole cohort table, and the maximum days will be maximum of the whole cohort table. So to avoid that, and that's why we are using if has one filter. So basically what does that means is if there is no filter on the cohort table, then just get the straight sales. This is the sales of the bike racks. If I just simply use a product category and some sales measure here, and some sales measure, which is just a simple sales measure, so that should be the total what we see here at the end. So here you go, bike racks 40,000, and that's a 40,000, 40,581, 40,581. And since if you look at that, we cannot sum all these together because these are overlapping. So this is 0 to 30 days, this is 30 to 60 days, and again this is 0 to 30 days, sales within the 0 to actually 90 days, 3 months, and this is 0 to 365 days. So basically we are now calculating the sales in a different segment to get the true comparison. Now once we have this, we can now, it's still, again, yesterday video I told mentioned that comparing the dollars does not mean anything, because one item could be very highly priced, another one could be very cheap, so that we can't compare the dollars, does not make sense. So we will calculate the percentage of the each, how much is the percentage of the total sales in this particular cohort segment. So to do that, it's going to be a very simple measure. Again, we did that yesterday. I think I already have that here. Okay, so that measure is called, like, we get the cohort sales, and then the total sales is sales and we are removing the filter on the cohort so that there is no filter on that, and then we divide the cohort sales with the total sales. So that will give us the percentage. So let's bring this category cohort sales in the visualization here. So now if we compare this, what we see here is the in first 30 days, bike racks has 4.8% share and bike stand is 1.61% and so forth, so on. So now we have a better comparison compared to what we did in yesterday's video, and I will show you one use case of that, which was really good finding when I was doing this. If you look at, because in yesterday's we have a year 1, year 2, and year 3, year 4. So year 1 is it was the first year since from the first sales date. Now here what we're doing is, if we look at the item, specifically product category West, in yesterday's video or the calculation, the first year sale is turned out to be 65 days, which was correct. And whereas when we are looking here in a dynamic cohort analysis based on the number of days, the first year sale is turned out to be 34,561. And now the surprising part is like why that is the case, because in our new analysis we are doing it based on the number of days. So it does not matter when the first sales start. Let's say if the category starts within middle of the year and that does not have the full year sale, so that's why the percentage share might be not correct in that case. So this was exactly the reason why this analysis looks different. So I'm going to select this one cell here just to show you guys. So now if I select the 65, so what we were seeing in the yesterday is the first sales of West category was in December 2019. So based on the December 2019 and the order date, there was only one order which has the $65. So that's why there was only in year 1, based on the a year basis, on the static side of things, it is only $65 in first year. And this is correct, but this is not the true comparison, because this category starts selling very late in the year. Maybe it was introduced very late in the year. So it is not the same, you're not comparing the same period in that sense. But when we go to the date level, when we comparing with the days level, so let's go to on this side and go to the West here on 34,561. So what we are seeing here is, if I increase the size of the matrix visual, what we're seeing here is the number of days, the category cohort days, is between 0 to 365 days. Does not matter whether it is sold in 2019 or 2020 or 2021. So it is comparing the first 365 days from the first sales of that category. So all the categories are now compared. Does not matter when they get introduced within the year. In our yesterday's analysis, it was year 1 based on the first sale date. So if again the category is being introduced later in the year, so it does not have the full year sales, and that comparison still does not make any sense. But in this case, does not matter whether a category is being introduced within the middle of the year or end of the year or start of the years. We are always comparing from the first sales date to 365 days. They spill over into the next year, does not matter, but at least we are comparing always 365 days versus 365 days, or 30 days versus 30 days. Doesn't matter when the first sale date started. So now this becomes really interesting analytic. So I mentioned about the cohort group. So here I added the cohort group as a slicer. Now we can compare. Now there is a mix of, we are showing days, months, and the years. Let's say I just want to see the days, how they are comparing. So first 30 days, how each category performed, between 30 to 60 days, how they went about it, and between 60 to 90, some are going down, some are going up, some are just not changing. I can have now months. I can see how they going on the over month, and in the years as well. Like some started very strong in the first year and then dropped down. Some started like at a 40% and then they went down, up and down. So now we can our cohort, we can have our x-axis, so that can be controlled through the slicer as well. Along with now that cohort table which we created, we can make it as dynamic as we want. We can add more rows, more analysis. We can go by week, by a number of days, like first 1 week, first 10 weeks, or whatever the use case is. But it is a true comparison because it is based on the days. So it does not matter when the first sale started. We are always calculating the number of days and then comparing against all the categories. And this can be really powerful and very useful. I hope you found this video useful. This is going to come on Saturday on the weekend. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe my channel. Until next video, have a great day. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.